What's going on, Genshin fans? James here again, and oh boy, I am super excited about what goes on for this week's episode. This is going to happen. This is going to be awesome to some degree. And this time, oh boy, we got us a deck challenge involving against one of my favorite characters, but we'll get to that momentarily. So, first things first, on Genius Invocation TCG. How does this game work? Up to 3 character cards in any combinations. As long as you make the deck consistent, there you go. And of course, your max deck count could be a total of 27 cards, as long as you have 1 or 2 copies of something, then you should be in a pretty good spot. So based on this team composition in terms of the Genius Invocation TCG, a team of 3 that are spear holders, and those 3 will be Sino, Zhongling, and of course the MVP in terms of hardcore carry throughout the whole entire card game adventures, for which, by the way, we will be challenging, is Shenhe. Now, for this list of the profile for you guys. Of course, when it comes to the characters, in terms of the character cards in your possession, in terms of team setups, obviously, you're going to have their signature powers, obviously. So you got Mystical Abandon for the sake of Shenhe's, of course. And you also got Crossfire, which is Zhongling's. And then you got Featherfall Judgment, aka Sino card. Now, to go over the rest of the list in terms of the card choices, about why I play it, and so on. So, first things first. That would be White Tassel. 2 copies of White Tassel. 1 copy of Skyward Spine. Those are the spear weapons to receive. And when it comes to Skyward Spine, that's usually for Sino the most. And then the 2 white tassels, that's usually for any combinations of Zhongling, Shenhe, and Sino, the spear holder users. But mainly the Skyward is for Sino the most. 1 copy of Broken Rhymes Echo, that's for the sake of Shenhe. Witch's Scorching Hat, Zhongling in this build. And then Thunder Summoner's Crown for Sino, of course. Leeway Harbor Wharf, 2 copies. That says during the end phase, draw 2. So basically, Pot of Greed, and you get 2 usage out of this. And then 1 copy of Dawn Winery. It says when you perform switch character, spend 1 less elemental die once per round. 1 copy of Paimon. Paimon is okay in terms of decent dice setup for when you don't have anything else to keep your elemental dice going, of course. 1 copy of Catherine. This is your support card in conjunction with the Dawn Winery. So how the 2 cards work is you spend 1 less elemental die in terms of switching characters, and then when it comes to switching characters, it is considered a fast action instead of a combat action. So Catherine and Dawn Winery together, you're essentially switching characters for free, and you get another turn, which is crazy. 1 copy of Timaeus, that's meant for your artifact cards. 1 copy of Wagner, that's for your weapon cards. 1 copy of NRE, aka Food Bag. And when it comes to the Food Bag, it's basically every time or once you play this food bag, you're basically drawing a random food card. And once you play a food card, you end up drawing another random food card once per round until eventually there are no more food cards for you left to draw. Stolen contracts. When it comes to stolen contracts, card is nice. So the way how this is that you gotta have at least 2 Liyue characters, Shenhe and Zhongling, in this build. The case is, when the action phase of the next round begins, create 3 Omni element dice and draw 1, which is crazy. 1 copy of the bestest travel companion, aka Paimon. If your elemental dice seems to be awkward, you can just outright fix that by having 2 not so good element dice, convert them into Omni dice. 2 copies of Strategize, that's your Pot of Greed. Master of Weaponry. Basically, the way how the card works is if you already have weapons, this lets you switch the weapon holder for free, which is nice. And then the food cards, Jane Guoba, Adeptus' Temptation, Lotus Flower Crisp, Northern Smoked Chicken, Sweet Madame, Mondstadt Hash Brown, Mushroom Pizza, and Minty Meat Rolls. All of the food cards, of course. And in this build, you literally do not want to draw the food cards ever unless you have the NRE bag. So, Jeyun Guoba, extra damage, of course, for the normal attacks. Adeptus Temptation, that's for your Elemental Burst, plus 3 damage. Minus 3 damage in terms of the attacks with the help of Lotus Flower Crisp. Northern Smoked Chicken, that is for the next normal attack costs 1 less dice. Sweet Madame, restore HP for 1. The Hash Brown restores 2. And then Mushroom Pizza restores 1. And you can only do this at least 1 or 2 times in throughout the whole entire end phases in for the next 2 rounds. And then Minty Meat Rolls. The next 3 normal attacks cost 1 less dice before the round ends. So, with that being said, I'd say this is pretty much quite the list to some degree. And with that being said, it's time to duel.
It's such a relief to play with you. There's no way for me to relax when playing against others.
Oh, and in this specific episode, since I happen to come across, well, Waifu Shenhe, for this type of match, we are going to be in a not the best of 1, but best 2 out of 3. It's time to duel. Ooh, a freeze team by Shenhe. Okay. This is getting interesting. Okay, so she also has Ganyu and Kokomi, and with this hand, immediately change the food, shuffle back. Ah, okay, there we go. Quite the nice hand, quite the nice hand.
What exactly is teamwork?
Alright, Shenhe mirror match. Let's get the show on the road. Oh yeah, we had to sign up, but realistically, I just want to start off with Shenhe first and see where this leads.
You stand condemned!
Oh, of course, Sino's ability. The Lawful Enforcer. Once the battle begins, hook this guy up in terms of gaining the Pax Worn, Path Clear counters. So, the way how this works is, for Sino, is that once the counters goes up to 4, basically, charge complete, and it's game time with Sino. For now, let's get the show on the road. to my ice first, so we can use the artifact for free. And then let's start off with
Obey!
an icy feeling for Shenhe. Yep, 2 ice. Switching to Coco Me. Okay. Don Winery should do. And realistically, I'm going to have to pass on this one. So take your turn, Shenhe.
Rest and rebuild.
A little heal up by Coco Me. And a little water symbol, of course. Yep, it's got to be the same elemental type out of this. And oh boy, we got the cards for it. Start off fresh with Catherine. And then freeze Kokomi.
Unleash!
And of course, that would be a force switch to Shenhe. I think now's the time for me to get out of this, because if the opponent's Shenhe card attacks while I'm in my water state, I'm basically going to freeze to for the turn. So the correct call
I can't wait any longer.
is to switch to Zhongling for now. Take one of these die.
Boba, get them.
And the melt status applies
Unleash.
for extra damage. Yep, see what I mean? It's a good thing we tagged out right this minute. And then ending turn. Dawn Winery, of course. Switching on down to Ganyu. Still has some HP left in her. Frozen solid for Zhongling. But at the same time, both Zhongling and Kokomi can come back. Switch the dice roll around. I think the luck is in Zhongling's favor this time around. The NRE is there, which is the one I want to see the card. And realistically,
What exactly is teamwork?
yeah, the switch should do. Convert off one of those cards.
Do your master's bidding.
A little melt synergy with some extra damage. And then stats are normal once again, except my Shenhe with the water application, so
Just sharpen my spear.
try my hardest to stall out for
Do your
Sino.
master's bidding.
Yep, the ultimate, aka Elemental Burst, comes up. Go for a little extra damage.
Dinner's gonna burn.
One down. 2 to go by opponent's Shenhe card.
No escape from fate.
Down goes opponent Shenhe. And then my Shenhe card gets froze, but shield comes back. Let's see. Oh, this'll be the finishing blow against Kokomi.
Manifest!
New strategy needed.
Whoa! Can we even do some conversion out of this? Get the HP to Shenhe. Do a little conversion. One more should do. Nah, I think we'll convert this one.
Obey!
And then at this point, we basically win from the get-go. Down goes Shenhe
No escape
of my own.
from fate. My contract goes unfulfilled.
And that's one. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we're going best 2 out of 3. This hand, we'll go for the switch. I'd say that's a nice hand.
I will do as you command.
Shenhe mirror once again. And, ooh, a lot of Electro, but that's for Sino in his favor. But we're actually going to work on Shenhe and Zhongli the most as much as we could. So, Sino with his Packful counters, of course. Icy Crown on Shenhe. And I'm most likely to have to Skyward being hooked up to Sino the most.
Unleash!
Yep. 2 of the same card.
Unleash!
And I'm going to have to switch
Just sharpen my spear.
just in case.
Obey!
And at this point, anytime Shenhe of the opponents switches to Kokomi, the moment the water hits, any of our teammates will freeze. Okay, never mind. Still sticking to Shenhe. Okay, switching it over to Ganyu. Cool. Doesn't change anything out of this. All I can say is, quite the hand that Shenhe has. So, if that's not the case...
Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
Summon out Gooba. Whoa! That pretty much gets us in a bad spot. Strategize for the Pot of Greed. For free, of course.
I will do as you command.
Yeah, Shenhe must have got the insane hand is all I can say.
Access denied.
Play out the Wagner card. Hook up the weapon to Shenhe.
Obey!
Massive damage.
Cryo Incarnate! My contract goes unfulfilled.
Down goes Ganyu. We still got some extra dice left. And yet Shenhe is gonna go first on the follow-up. Give the HP to Zhangling, and then we pass.
Oh!
The melt synergy comes in just to catch up. And there's one of the two key cards. Good old Catherine.
Do your master's bidding!
Oh boy.
My curse!
Down goes Shenhe. I think this calls for some real fix, if we could. We're actually going to save this for Kokomi because she hasn't been on the field throughout the whole entire game.
My curse!
Down goes Shenhe.
There.
Okay, now it's the time to do this. Is it 4, really? Huh, thought it was 3. Oh, I must be thinking of the Guoba.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
And then next turn, it's fatal error for Waifu Shenhe. And charging is now complete. Courtesy of Sino with the 4 electric counters.
Allow me.
And then it's game time.
Eat this! Ah! New strategy needed.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a 2-0 sweep against Waifu Shenhe. I'm so sorry, loves. At the end of the day, still love you though, as my #1 character of all characters. So guys, that's gonna do it in the Genius Invocation TCG versus Shenhe. You guys know the drill. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. You guys know the good stuff. And catch you guys next time in the Genshin universe.